Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via YouTube streaming, via Facebook streaming, and also via Skype. Sabri Sheikh, an biographical sketch of his association with his master, Sufi Brij Mohan Lal. Master, the key to transformation. Never ever make a mistake to judge a master through his behavior or actions. He is beyond all actions. His actions and behaviors are conscious device, a play to transform you. All his actions and behavior are conscious device or play to transform you. A master who moves according to your explanations will not be able to transform you. At present, there is a great crowd of masters. They attract the crowd. Sufi Raghuvar Dayal used to say that I do not want the worldly dog around me. Worldly dog means dog's quality is barking. A man of intellect goes on barking like a dog. He doesn't listen to anyone. He is conditioned in his own way. So when such a person comes in, he will not be benefited in the company of the master. He will continue to listen to him and let him go. There had been instances with the masters. A woman who had been moving from master to master, tradition to tradition, came to Hazrat Imam Jafar Sadiq. She said, I had been to many masters, many traditions, and each time I moved from one tradition to the other. It was considered a sign of wisdom. You had been in a particular way, you move to the other says, now you got the wisdom, you have come to the right place. She continued to speak and Imam Jafar continued to listen to her. After she had finished whatsoever she was to say, he said, woman, go back home. I will send you my message in a day's time. The woman waited at her residence. A man appeared with a packet and he handed over that packet to the woman and said, this is from Imam Jafar Sadiq. It was written, woman, open the packet, remove the cotton that was separating the sand inside the bottle, shake it, and you know what you have reduced yourself to. There were three colors of sands: white, black, and red, separated by a cotton batting. When the cotton was removed, it turned into a grey substance. That is what the person has reduced herself to. A man came to Raman and he asked the way to attain to transformation. Raman said, go within. Go within. If you are a man of words, you will say that I am already in. Where should I go? Means I am already in the room. Which room should I go to? So he again and again keep on asking Raman, what is the way? Raman said, go within. Go within. When it happened few times, and the man continued to ask the question, Raman took his walking stick and hurling it towards him, chased him got angry at him and chased him out of the place. Everybody was surprised at the gesture of Raman. He never did think like that. But sometimes it becomes necessary for master. And then the man got so frightened that he hustled to run out of the place, and after chasing him out of the gate, he returned smiling. There is a great crowd of masters. When I read their statements, it is surprising. But there is no religiousness. These masters act as you want them to. They will fulfill your expectations. Such masters are elected through the crowd. If a Jain master is prohibited to walk in the night, then Jain followers will be his watchdogs. Hindu master has to fulfill the expectations of the Hindu crowd. He cannot act otherwise even if he wishes. So will a Muslim and also Christian masters act. If a crowd elected master acts contrary to the wishes of the crowd, the people who put him on the pedestal will pull him down from the same pedestal. Such a master will not be able to help you. If your search is for religion, I mean not organized religion, really religion and transformation, then he cannot help. The crowd is always ignorant. The day crowd has to decide how a master should behave, the master follows the crowd. You will recall the popes are elected through a certain method, and if they do not follow certain protocol, they can be removed from that position. Something like this had happened with one of the posts, I am not sure, but as far as I recall, the crowd is always ignorant. The day crowd has to decide how a master should behave, the master follows the crowd, and the master follows the crowd. Then what will be the value of such a master? A real master is alone and does not follow the crowd. I am reminded of an anecdote about Kaushiki, a master. Kaushiki's commune or ashram or the monastery had many disciples. There are certain rules. One rule was monk must take dinner once only before sunset. This was one of the rules, that monks must take dinner once only before sunset. But there was something unique about Kaushiki. He always had his dinner after sunset. Also, Buddhist monks need to take their meals collectively so that no one can eat something else. But Kaushiki used to have his meals alone in his hut and used to eat whole night. The news reached the king. He was the follower of the master. Human beings are blind, not blind biologically, but blind to truth, blind to light, blind to understanding. No one could see the light of the master, the light that the master was. No one could see the reflection of Buddhahood through him. In the night, Kaushiki used to take his meals with the room closed. The king doubted that Kaushiki could be a master after all. The king decided to investigate the matter himself. He didn't want anybody else to investigate, so he decided to investigate himself. He could not understand why the master closes the door. He wonders if the master eats food which is forbidden. We hide if we are doing something wrong. Naturally, this is the rule of all of us. We are guided by it. We hide what we consider to be wrong. This is how we operate. But we have no way to understand the behavior of the master. No way to understand the behavior of the master. Ignorant hide the wrong and reveal the right. Or even if you have nothing to reveal, then create the impression of doing good. And don't let anybody know this. So with this in mind, the king and his ministers hide themselves with swords in their hand behind the hut of the master. The religion was in danger, and the concern was to save the religion. Very often the ignorant one, who do not have realization of truth, takes the responsibility of saving the religion. The master is doing something forbidden. Religion is in danger. It has to be saved. Those who do not have the glimpses of the religiousness feel concerned about the dangers in religion. And such people are really destroying the religion. So the king remained hiding. The master came hiding food under his gown. He closed the door, but king made a peephole for his purpose of investigation. The master was so unique. He sat with his back facing the peephole so that the king could not see it. Then he started the meal. This became unbearable to the king. To them, master appeared very cunning. Normally he would be facing this side where the peephole was, but he sat with his back facing the peephole. So the king thought that the master is very cunning, so they decided to enter the room through the window. As the king and his minister entered the room, the master covered the pot with his gown. The king insisted to see what the master was eating. The master said there was nothing for the king to see, but the king again insisted and said he will not follow the master. He said he will not follow the master disciple tradition. The master said, if you wish, you can see it. But the king could not be bothered about such things. The king was astonished and ashamed to see that the pot from which the master was eating had only the boiled leftover stems and leaves of the vegetables discarded by the commune. The master was eating leftover stems and leaves that was discarded in the commune, boiled. The king got into difficulty. He could not understand the master. What is the use of eating such food hiding? It was cold night, but the king started perspiring. The master said, "You think wrongdoings have to be hidden, but the right things is also hidden. You hide the wrong, the master hides the right. This is the difference between you and the master. When you reveal the right, your ego is nourished. But when the wrong is revealed, your ego disintegrates. Master exhibits wrong and hides the right." What was the need of eating such a food hiding? What was the need? He could have eaten the normal food. Such is the device of the master to create a situation for your transformation, to remove the doubt that king had in his mind, the kind of understanding king had. The master began to laugh and said, "I knew very well one day you will come, because your eyes can see only the superficial. God is manifesting every moment, but you cannot see. You do not have the eyes. Tonight is my final night here. I am leaving this commune. Now you control and take care of the commune. I cannot fulfill your wishes. The code of conduct I have to fulfill. If I have to fulfill your wishes, how can I transform you?" And that day the master left that commune. Only a master who does not follow your wishes can transform you. Do not ever make a mistake to judge the master through his behavior and through his actions. He is beyond all actions, and this is the mistake almost everyone makes. And that is the reason that family members, the near and dear ones who are close to the master, miss the opportunity of transformation and miss the masters. I recall very well. I was very small child when my grandfather Sufi Brij Mohan Lal entered into Samadhi. But when my grandmother took Samadhi, I was an adult. After she entered into Samadhi, nearly 99% of the disciples who had gathered for the ceremonies said they did not know that she was such a great saint. She never allowed anyone to know her reality. She will simply make jokes, offer them this thing and that thing to eat, inquire about petty things, small things that has no meaning. As far as the spirituality is concerned, then I said a master is known only if he wants to be revealed. If he wants you to know him, if you are ready for transformation, if you are on the borderline, you will know the master. Otherwise you can stay all around and you will never know the master. He is beyond all actions. His actions and behaviors are conscious device and play to transform you. I shall tell you one more anecdote about another master, Junaid. He was a Sufi master. The king was his disciple. At one time a message has reached the king about Junaid it was reported that Junaid drinks and remains in the company of the wrong woman. This was disgraceful for the king. King thought, if it is so, then I will kill the king. I will kill Junaid. Such persons consider themselves to be the real proprietors or custodians of religion. Religion seems to be in the hands of such people. This is why Jesus was crucified, Al-Hilaj Mansur was crucified. These people are ignorant and fanatics. In our present day terminology, these powerful people are called terrorists. The man in whom I have put my trust seems to be wrong. If it is so, then I will kill him, the king told the informer, but he had to prove the allegation. The informer took the king by the lake. On the other bank of the lake, Junaid was sitting with a bottle of wine, and a veiled woman was pouring something into the cup from the bottle. Seeing this, the king pulled out his sword and asked the informer to go, as everything was clear and there was nothing to prove now. As he moved forward, fear gripped him. How could he kill Junaid, the master? The work can be done by the soldiers. So he turned back. Same time a voice came. It was the voice of Junaid. When you had come so far, then come a little closer. When you want to know something, you need to have courage. You have to come face to face. Listening to this, king could not leave. Frightened, the king came close to Junaid. Junaid gave the bottle to the king, which contained nothing else but water. And when the veil was removed, the woman was no one else but Junaid's mother. Then what is the use of such an acting? Master used such devices to keep the ignorant ones away. Master waits for the right person, for the right moment before he can transfer his being to the deserving one. Bodhidharma waited for 9 years for the man named by name. When he came, he transferred everything to him. Buddha waited for Mahakashyap on the bank of the river. And then he said, all that could be spoken, I have spoken, but truth cannot be spoken. And that I transfer it onto Mahakashyap. Masters use such devices to keep ignorant ones away. They wait for the right person and the right moment before he can transfer his being to a deserving one. Never judge a master through his behavior. This is what happened with Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan when he transferred his spiritual power to Lalaji. Lalaji transferred it to Brij Mohan Lal, but there are so many pseudo-masters who claim that Lalaji transferred this to his master, to him. It is written in his will. Ignoring will and creating his own will, this is the same thing exactly which is being done in the name of Osho. By those who wants to grab his name as their trademark, use his wealth and all that. If Master uses such devices to keep the ignorant one away, Master waits for the right person and the right moment before he could transfer his being to the deserving one. Never judge a master through his behavior. This is outside. Behavior and actions are outside. And the awakening is within. If you follow the doubt, you can never come to a master. Out of trust one day, you will reach to the point where doubt can vanish. Life has law of waiting. If you can wait, everything gets completed. Life wants everything to attain fruition. Do not pick unripe fruits, wait. The fruits will ripe. When fruits ripe naturally, it must fall. You may not have to climb the tree now. If you are in a hurry, you will pick up an unripe fruit. For this, you have to climb the tree. And if you are not an expert, you may fall. And once the unripe fruit is picked, the chances of it getting ripe may finish. Pay attention to trust. Do not fight with doubt. Let the doubt be the bridge between known and unknown, between the master and the disciple. Let doubt connect you. When the master calls, respond in affirmation. This will not mean your doubt has vanished. Doubt will remain there, but you do not pay attention. You know doubt exists. You may hide from others, but you cannot hide from the master. In this Zen code, Hoshin replied 3 times. Kaushiki asked the master, but the master alone spoke and asked for forgiveness, noticing disciples' state of doubt. But seeing the state of growing trust, he said, in fact, you need to ask for forgiveness. In the whole code, there are 2 sentences very significant. The first statement is for the arising doubt in Hoshin. I know there are doubts in you, and those doubts want an apology from me. You are calling me, but you are not telling me why are you calling. A doubt arises. This is disturbing your sleep. I am not letting you rest, and unnecessarily keep on calling you without telling you anything. To a doubting mind, this is madness. Hence, it requires an apology for the master. Thus, this statement is significant. So the master proposes to ask for forgiveness. Maybe Hoshin is paying a little bit of attention to his doubting mind, but the proposal of the master for forgiveness worked as catalyst and awakened Hoshin. Immediately he became aware of his doubt, and with this awareness, mind moves from doubt to trust. Master is noticing this inner happening. As the shift change takes place, immediately the master says, in fact, it is you who should ask for forgiveness. Many times, when I see the disciples' face frowning, I ask for forgiveness. But the person do not understand. Their doubt, ego feels satisfied. So when the master saw that the doubt, that the disciples with the awareness is moving from doubt to trust, master is noticing this inner happening. As the shift happens, immediately the master says, in fact, it is you who should ask for forgiveness. I called 3 times and still you did not wake. And now you are asked for forgiveness. I call you for no reason. You should be grateful to me, hence the apology from you is needed. When the desire calls, there is a reason. When the call arises out of compassion, Master's call is out of compassion. When desire calls, there is a reason. When the call arises out of compassion, there is no reason. So, who should be grateful? The entire koan explains two sides of your heart. As I said in life, everything is total. Only you have to wait for the right moment. And Dhyan is your life energy. Whenever you use this energy, life begins to blossom. Now, even the scientists have reached to a significant conclusion about plants. When you give your attention, your dhyan to the plants, they tend to grow faster and healthier. Flowers and fruits begin to blossom faster. On the contrary, if you give everything to the plant in the right proportion, but you do not give your dhyan, then their blossoming is delayed. A mother who gives her dhyan to a baby, besides milk, the baby gets nourished faster and remains healthy. Milk is the food of the body. Milk nourishes the body cells. And the other is the food of the soul. Dhyan, meditation, nourishes your soul. One who you love, your attention goes towards him. No matter how busy you are, you may be, but your consciousness or surati or your attention continues to flow towards that person. And that is what the energy field of the Master is. It matters not how far you are, your dhyan remains towards him. Love your trust. From that alone you will evolve. From that alone will evolve love for the Master. Once you are connected to your trust within, your communion will happen with the Master. You will attain to fana-fuel murid, fana-fuel sheikh. No matter how much you try to be with the Master, communion will not happen. Scientists say not only man, even animals strive for totality. You go to a chimpanzee in a zoo and make a 3/4 circle around the animal and leave the chalk there. Chimpanzee will be restless that the circle is incomplete, and immediately he picks up the chalk and draws the line that completes the circle. You will remain restless because everything needs to complete. There is certain things you can complete. Also, there are certain things that you cannot complete, only you have to wait. This is the difference between science and religion. Science searches those things that you can complete. You can complete the circle. You can fix a machine. Science can complete the objects, and religion completes the human beings. There, you cannot do anything, only you have to wait. Science is effortless. Religion is a wait, a patience. You have nothing to do. Just be patient and wait. Grass grows by itself. Grass waits for the spring to come. Face trust. And turn your back towards doubt. You will find the energy of the doubt converts into trust. And all energy will begin to flow towards trust. The day trust is total, and Master calls you, you need not respond. you will weak, and the effort is for such a call. The Master will act as a catalyst in your process of growth, and then you will realize doing leads to nowhere. Master's presence alone does everything. Master is the key to transformation. The Master said, you think that wrongdoings have to be hidden, but the right doings have to be hidden in reality. You hide the wrong, and the Master hides the wrong. This is the difference between you and the Master. When you reveal the right, your ego is nourished. But when wrong is revealed, your ego disintegrates. Master exhibits wrong and hides the right. Only this much for this morning. We will continue the sessions this week, Saturday. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.